Hey guys, it is Pat Owl. I'm on board a 2007 Honda 919, aka the Honda Hornet. I don't like to start the reviews off pessimistically, but as you noticed as I pulled away out of the street, it kind of jerked and a little bit twitchy. That is one of the cons of this bike, and it's actually well documented on almost every motorcycle magazine and motorcycle review that I've ever seen. The twitchy fuel injection, that's only at really low RPMs. So anyway, enough of that, because I absolutely love this motorcycle. I'm going to my sacred spot here, get a little bit of privacy to do a walk around and all that kind of stuff. But I do really feel like this bike more took off in Europe and Australia, not really in the United States where I live. It's very common for me to pull up to a stoplight and for somebody to pull up next to me and say, what the heck is that? I've never seen one of those before. We do have them here, and we have the cb900R or 1000RR. I can't remember how they label that, but basically the bike that took over this. Actually, both times the cb900 has been discontinued, it's been recontinued or added by a 1000cc or an 1100cc version of this. So anyway, I have gone to numerous motorcycle shows with friends, and I just can't find anything that I like better. Maybe someday. But the Honda 919 or the Hornet 900, depending on where you live, is just an all-around great bike, and I'm going to tell you all about it right now.
Here's a brief history on the Honda 919. It was in the United States from 2002 to 2007 as the Honda 919, the second generation. The Honda CB900 was made from 1979 to 1983 as the first generation. The Honda Hornet was made for a lot longer, from 1998 to 2013 as a 160, 250, 600, and 900cc. It was called the Honda 599 in the United States. Some basic specifications: 919cc engine. It's a detuned or retuned Honda CBR 900 engine. Standard category motorcycle naked bike, which means that it has an upward facing riding position and exposed engine. Liquid cooled, fuel injected, inline 4, 6-speed with a chain, 110 horsepower engine, 5-gallon tank, and a 31.3-inch seat height. It's a fairly basic analog display with a speedometer and a tachometer, as well as neutral, high beam, low oil pressure, and a fuel injector light. Odometer, 2 trip meters. I use one for gas and one since my last oil change. It also has a clock if you hit the right button over here. Has left and right turn signal indicators. Here is the left, and here is the right. It's also got an engine temperature gauge on the face of the tachometer. Here's a walk around of the motorcycle. I think it's a good looking bike. It actually looks more like a wine red if the sun isn't beating on it. Right now it looks a little bit more bright than it usually does though, since it's a nice sunny day. I've added that windshield. I think that was about $120 on Amazon. I've also added a throttle lock here that disconnects when you either push the switch down or use the front brake. There's the throttle, the kill switch, the starter, and there's a push to talk for my chatterbox that I have on my helmet, high-low beam, turn signals, horn, and here's the 5-gallon fuel tank. Down here I've also installed some T-Rex frame sliders. Anybody who has a naked bike I think should do that just to protect the engine. Single shock down here, and the rear pipes, there's 2 of them. And if you look, they have heat shields on them, and they actually don't even really get more than warm to the touch, so a passenger will not worry about burning themselves. Also, see, I put a little sticky pad on the passenger seat. The seat is very slippery, and the passenger slides into you when you hit the brakes. There's a little choke type thing, which I don't know why they have that, because the bike's fuel injected. And here's the other frame slider. Got them from T-Rex, like I said. Underneath the seat, there's a toolkit. There's a spot for coolant, some electrical stuff. There really isn't a lot of room to store anything.
Alright, so here we go again. So the Honda 919, like I said, was replaced with the CB1000R. And the competitors for it, for Suzuki, is the GSX, which I think they make in a couple different sizes, and the Yamaha does the FZ07, and so the FZ09 would actually be the competitor for this one, engine size wise. Both really cool looking bikes. They kind of, well, I guess it depends on I kind of like the vintage look with the round headlight. They kind of seem like some of these newer bikes they're trying to make look like Transformers. I will say though, I haven't ridden either one. I've read great reviews on the internet and seen good reviews on YouTube on both of those bikes. But yeah, I haven't ridden them, either one. The Kawasaki is the Kawasaki Z1000, so I don't know. I feel like Honda kind of started doing away with this stuff, especially in the United States. It seems like we're very specific in the bikes that we like. We either like our cruisers, and they're just cruisers, or we like our sport bikes, and they're just sport bikes. And I like something that's got great performance, but has got a comfortable straight up riding position. And this is kind of it. It kind of splits the difference here. Alright, I'm going to make a right-hand turn here and get out on the freeway just for a little bit. I'll go northbound. It's a 70 mile per hour speed limit, and the exit here is just fun. It's a big, like, almost 270 degree turn to like a clover leaf to get on the freeway, and a really long acceleration lane. So as long as there's not going to be somebody in front of me, really lets the performance of this bike shine. Okay, there's a guy on a bike over there, no headlight, and he's just dragging his feet, probably doing 20 miles per hour. I'm going to get on my soapbox here for just a minute. First of all, motorcycle accidents happen usually because somebody doesn't see the guy or the girl or whoever, the motorcyclist. And, making yourself not visible by having a headlight, first of all, it's illegal, and second of all, it's just not safe. And then just being a knob and not knowing how to ride enough to pick your feet up, it's like motorcycling 101. So anyway, get some training. It'll save your life. Also be seen. So anyway, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to teach. I'm just here to evaluate this Honda 919. So here we go. I'm going to accelerate a little bit. I got this guy in front of me, so I can't really do too much, but it gets up and goes. It does the quarter mile in 11 seconds, almost 11 seconds flat with 110 horsepower. Top speed is 142 miles per hour. I will say I have not even come close to that, but apparently it will do it. And it handles really well, really, really well on the freeway. 3,500 RPMs right now at 75 miles per hour. You can see it's a naked bike. I don't know if you'd want to do the freeway all day or drive coast to coast. There are people that do. That's why I put this little windshield on here, so that the wind isn't just making me act like a sail. It takes a little bit of the pressure off, kind of shoots it around like the top of my helmet instead of it hitting my chest. But some guys don't mind it. It probably is a little fatiguing compared to a cruiser. It's definitely not a Honda Goldwing, so you kind of have to take the good with the bad with an unfaired motorcycle like this. Alright, so now I'm just going to hang a left here and get back on the freeway to head back toward my place. And you've got to be kidding me. Well, there's a first time for this. Somebody cutting me off while I'm on camera. Yeah, oh, she knows it too. She saw me at the last second. Speaking of motorcycle safety, yeah, she's gunning it to get away. Yeah, well, it allows me to accelerate a little faster then, I guess. Oh, it's so funny. We were just talking about motorcyclists not getting seen. So anyway, yeah, another thing that I do is I ride around with my brights on all the time in the daytime. At night I don't, but in the daytime I figure I would rather blind somebody, them looking at 2 headlights instead of 1, than not get seen like that jackass back there is riding around like an idiot. He's probably on a $30,000 motorcycle. I'm not going to trash talk Harleys or anything like that or any particular brand. I don't know what he was on. It was big and it was expensive, and that's the thing. I preach all the time, like, be responsible. If you're not experienced, don't buy a big expensive bike. And if you're not experienced, go get some training. There's some awesome courses out there for beginners and intermediates and advanced. And yeah. Alright, let's take a look at the pros and cons. The pros list. It's good at most things. It's very versatile. Good all-around motorcycle, well-rounded, stable, fast, comfortable ergonomically. And the cons, I unfortunately had to go with what a lot of the motorcycle magazines say. It is twitchy at low RPMs, which I can verify, and which you got to see. Lack of wind protection, keeping in mind, though, it's a naked bike. It's heavy, reported by some people, and some people also report the exhaust smell, but I've never noticed that, and I also run premium gasoline with non-ethanol, so maybe that's why. No ethanol. So who would I recommend buy this bike? Somebody looking for a good all-arounder, high performance with decent comfort, or somebody stepping up from a smaller bike or a 600. Now, who would I not recommend this bike for? It is important to note that we're getting into more advanced motorcycles with 900 plus cc's. Somebody in their first year of riding or an inexperienced rider, this is not a starter bike, and somebody looking for long distance or touring. It's also a little low on technology, as all the gauges are analog, as you can see right here. Also, there's no fuel gauge. I guess another con, if I want to be really nitpicky, is that there really isn't a lot of storage space. You can put hard cases on the back. I feel like it makes the bike look a little bit ridiculous. I actually even really like the way the bike looks without the windshield, but with the throttle lock on and all that kind of stuff, I found myself more comfortable, so I was putting on some longer days, and that's just what I like to do. I like to just take off on my bike and spend the day cruising on it. So yep, if you're looking for a good all-arounder, you're not a beginner, you can deal with a little bit of a heavy bike, which I put in the con section, but I like it. It's very stable. It's still very responsive. It's not a 600cc sport bike in performance and in weight, but if you're just looking for something good all around to carve the canyons but also ride the freeways, here it is, a great commuter bike. So thanks for watching. Try the Honda 919.